Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, founder at Online Seller UK, and today we'll be talking about sourcing from Turkey. I'm joined by Yulia from Dignified Product Sourcing, and we'll straight on dive into the topic. Welcome to our podcast.
Hello, and thank you very much, and happy Friday for those of you who are listening on a Friday. Haha.
I think sometimes it's a privilege to work Monday to Friday sometimes, but people like us, I think we work a bit longer than more
Yeah,
days.
it is. People don't know how good they have it, but yeah, not to complain.
No, it's okay. And then sometimes it also depends, whether you enjoy the job. And I've got to be honest, we enjoy our job and we try and do
That's
it
true.
as
Yeah,
much as
that's
possible.
true.
Yeah, cool. So I think it's for the sake of people who are listening first time, it's good for you to introduce yourself, your company, and we can take it from there.
Easy. I've been working in product sourcing for the last 18 plus years. I spent about 12 years living in Asia, including 9 years in China. I am the founder of a Dignified global product sourcing company. We work with Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers, and one of our customers is Amazon themselves. So that's kind of, so I know not everything because honestly, I still learn every single day, but I know quite a lot when it comes to sourcing, supply chain, optimization, and everything that, to help people and myself, because we're Amazon sellers ourselves, to save money when it comes to supply chain. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. So I think it's a quite complicated topic to cover as well. So let's go into the topic of sourcing from Turkey. Why Turkey?
Well, I think a lot of people who are probably listening are selling in Europe, in UK, and maybe in other parts of Europe, and a new, which is not really new, but nearshoring is becoming extremely popular right now. The concept of nearshoring, for those who don't know, means try to produce as close to the market where you're actually going to be selling. So if you're selling in the UK, the best market you can produce it in is actually UK, if we're talking specifically location. But we can't only consider location, we also need to consider many other things, like the price of the product, and in the first place, if the country can actually produce the product that you want. Shipping, delivery times, so, all of those things taken together. So Turkey has become a wonderful alternative for China for many products, for a lot of sellers who are located in Europe. We have tons of customers from UK and from Germany and some other European countries, and we were literally in the last year transferring them from manufacturing in China to manufacturing in Turkey. Why? The reason is simple. First things first, proximity, right? We're looking at this before we look at some other things in regards to the country. Then we're looking at what the country can actually offer in terms of manufacturing. And if you look at it, they can offer quite a lot. Anything from cleaning supplies for your bathroom to high-end plastic products, wooden products, textiles, right? Products made out of foam. So the range in which the country can help you, right? Which products they can manufacture is quite varied, and even agricultural products, or some people sell those flowers, like dried flowers that you use for baking or for decoration, even that, right? So we look at Turkey and we see that potentially they can produce a lot of different products. The next thing we're looking at are the prices and the MOQs. Because me and my team, we already know that Turkey has experience and expertise in many different products, and that is extremely important. Why? If you go to Mexico and you're starting to manufacture a product that has 3 different, not only components, but 3 different ingredients, for example, wood, plastic, and metal, for companies in Mexico, this will be very, very hard to produce, because you will need 3 different companies, and then you need one factory who will combine all of this together. They don't yet have this integration built in within the manufacturing community. Whereas China, of course, has it, and Turkey has this as well. So we'll look how hard or how easy it is for them to manage complex products. And Turkey scores high, and high in my vocabulary, this is good. So they can produce hard and complex products. If you want to make fancy packaging for your products, you can go to Turkey. If you want to make fancy cutting boards for your kitchen out of metal, some people do that. I don't know why, not very smart. Out of wood, you can do this, right? So we look at those complexities and we see Turkey is good. On average, the prices for some of the products will be a little bit higher in comparison to China, but you even this out or even come up on top because you are not paying the shipping costs that you need to pay from China to, let's say, UK, but the shipping costs will be a lot lower because you're only shipping from Turkey to the United Kingdom, right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, the MOQs can be negotiated, and we found that they can be as low as they can be in China, for sure. And manufacturing lead times are on par with China, on average 20-30 days, depending on the product. But your transportation time will be a lot faster, right? In China, you manufacture, it's 30 days. Then take another 40 days for it to be delivered, probably more, but let's be extremely optimistic and 40 days. So 70 days, and from the point that you placed an order, paid the deposit, right, and then paid the balance until you can actually start selling. Whereas in Turkey, let's say you have 30 days manufacturing and 10 days delivery, that's 40 days. 40 versus 30, right? That means you will also have higher liquidity. Your money will come back to you faster. And as a business owner, that is extremely important, right?
Yeah, you've explained everything nicely.
What's the goal?
Yes. So I'm just trying to think what else I can ask. So you've already talked about delivery time, which is the key area. So I'll touch base.
Control. You still need to consider quality control. It doesn't matter where you produce in the world, if it's in China or if it's in Germany or if it's in the UK or if it's in a factory that's located next door to you, I don't care. You still need to do quality control. Why? Because we need to remember different people have different mindset. You as a business owner versus people who work in your company have different goals and they achieve those goals in a different way. For me, the most important thing, I will give up my hand, but I will deliver the best thing to my customer. Whereas the people who work for you might not necessarily share the same passions, right? They will still do a good job, but not to the point where at 2 o'clock in the morning, I get up and I go on a podcast or I teach a master class. So, and plus the company also has a turnover of employees. Old employees going away, new employees come in. They might not yet know the quality standards. They might be slacking off. It takes time to train the people. So even when you're producing in Turkey, make sure to do quality control before shipment. We have faced a few times that we had still have a customer. They produce face masks in Turkey, right? FFP2 and all of those, extremely good market for this as well. And the factories were at some point not letting us in. We asked them, hey guys, is everything ready? We will come for inspection. And by everything ready, I mean the product is produced, it's ready to be shipped. After I check the master card and it needs to go and be loaded onto a truck. And every time we go to this factory, they lie to us. They openly lie to us. Yes, everything's ready. We come, they're still packing half of the stuff. So we talked to them directly, said, this can never happen again. So next time they were just not letting us into the factory and saying, no, we don't want you here. The situation was resolved. Okay. Yeah, so the factory wasn't, they didn't want to let us in. And this happens quite a lot in many different countries when the manufacturers are trying to hide something. So the point there is spend extra few $100 and do the quality control, even if it comes to a developed country. Turkey is a wonderful opportunity for those people who want to be, let's call that, who want to have first mover advantage. You have a decent amount of people right now who are switching from China to manufacturing in Turkey, but not so many yet, as it would dramatically increase the prices by the factories. So if you have an opportunity, if you have a little bit more budget, you can do this. And even if you're starting a new product, you can also start with Turkey. I give you an example. We have tons of customers with whom we're starting directly from Turkey, especially when it comes to textiles. I don't know, socks, t-shirts, hats, and all of those things. So opportunities are endless. If you want to know what kind of products you can source from Turkey, it's very, very easy. Go on Google and literally type in something like top exporting products from Turkey, right? And it will show you the categories. And this will be extremely helpful. Or you can find some links for trade shows, for manufacturing trade shows that happen in Turkey. And you can go through the list of exhibitors. And this list of exhibitors will be helpful to you identifying, what opportunities you potentially have in Turkey. Easy.
Yes. So I think you've covered, like I said before, you've covered most of the aspect. So is there a challenge? So if we are to work with the volumes, China obviously can produce volumes without any doubt. No, scaling up, I don't think there is an issue with China. But do we see the similar situation in Turkey? If we are to scale up the volume of production, do you see any issues there, or do you think it's possible?
No, it's possible. It's possible to scale your quantities in Turkey. Absolutely not a problem. They have very similar, in China, when you go to one factory and you, let's say, produce a cup, and all of the surrounding factories in the area will also produce those cups. Most likely it's all owned by the same family, right? Brother of a brother or something like this. In Turkey, this is extremely similar. So if one factory doesn't have enough capacity, he will call his brother-in-law or something like this, and they will make sure that that capacity is achieved. So yeah, absolutely not a problem. Again, like face masks, right? In millions of pieces, absolutely not a problem. Yeah. And the Turkish government is investing a lot into promoting the manufacturing industry within Turkey. You can see them at the country of Turkey. You can see at many different trade shows right now where they actually present as manufacturers, right? Not like come to Turkey and go to Antalya or Cappadocia, but come to Turkey and manufacture here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so is there, I mean, me being naive, but I'll ask anyway. I was thinking about this. So is there any advantage in customs? I'm comparing this with China to Turkey.
You can have lower tariffs, yes. Potentially on your products, you can have lower tariffs, especially if you sell in the US, right? No Trump tax or anything like this. But in general, yes, depending on your product, your tariffs will be lower, so lower import tax. And this is where it all comes together. You might have a higher price, but lower shipping cost, lower tariff, and it outweighs the China cheaper price, but higher shipping costs and higher tariff. So absolutely.
Yeah, and then it looks like I've seen some of your, I think these were LinkedIn posts somewhere, talking about there is increased customs by importing from China. Is that right? There's an increase in customs now.
Yeah, but this is to Germany. This is
Okay.
from August 1st. So people who do not ship from China to Germany should be okay. But yeah, there increased processing time, increased payments. We're still trying to figure out how exactly we can what exactly potentially we can get out of the situation in terms of how we can help our clients to make sure that no one pays extra money or something like this. But yeah, for UK, it's you guys in UK, you have your own Brexit problems. So
I think everybody has their own problems, right? Okay, cool. So let's go towards the end of this podcast. So I think it's best for you to then talk about your company briefly and then your contact. So people who are listening and were interested to source from Turkey, I know you do other countries, but for the sake of this podcast, who wants to source from Turkey, where do they go to contact you? So
They can find us on zignify.net. That's our website. We're also on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and all of the social media and things like this. And if you guys ever have any questions in general, where we can simply give advice, because we encourage people to try and do things on their own, because it's good to have the experience. So if you ever have any questions, you can always find me on LinkedIn and ask that question, and I'll try to be as helpful as possible. Easy.
okay, excellent. Thank you very much for your time and being so helpful.